Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to be doing a detailed video on this Breville grind control coffee maker. It's like a grind and brew, model number BDC650SS. So right now this coffee maker is $300. They do have it on sale right now for $240, which is a pretty good price. So this is a single serve coffee maker and a carafe. It comes with a stainless steel carafe that will do, that's a 12 pot cup of coffee there. So I'm going to do several videos on this. I'm going to show you how to clean the grinder and shoot. I'm going to show you how to descale it, calibrate it, set it up. But keep your manual. This manual is very helpful. If you don't have it, go on the Amazon website, find it under Amazon, and you can download the PDF from there. But this thing has a bean hopper. Okay. This is where you're going to put your beans. This is where you're going to put the water. It's got a little place. That thing pops up when the water tank is full. It's got a really nice display. Now it's got a burr grinder. So we open it up here and we can see the burr grinder down there. It's got a little place for the brush. That just locks. We open it up. So we press this open button. This opens the filter basket area. This is where the coffee is going to, when it grinds it, it shoots it in this right here, and it goes inside here, and then the hot water is going to come down here. There's where this thing actually moves. When it grinds, it moves up to let the coffee out, and then it moves back down when it's brewing. Here's your carafe, really nice carafe. It's got a nice easy unlock, a line. Keeps your coffee warm a long time. We've got this little tray. This tray is really important. I lost this tray and I had to buy a new one because it was making such a mess. So, little tray goes there. It catches some of the coffee grounds. Drip tray we can take out to put a bigger travel mug in. This is a carafe again. There's no warming plate here. So, the double wall stainless steel is going to keep it warm. Again, we take this whole brew basket out. So again, let's just look over the brew basket. You can use paper filters, 8 to 12 cup paper filters, or you can use a reusable filter. If you use a reusable filter, it says make sure this little handle is towards the hinge. If it's over here, it could interfere with the coffee grounds coming in. It's got that pause brewing plunger. So when the carafe is in, it pushes that up to let the coffee out. Again, this is kind of an infuser head of some sort. Again, the coffee is going to shoot in this port here, and then it goes in, and then the water comes in here. Kind of a complicated setup here. You definitely have to wash it by hand. It's got some rubber on it. Yeah, it's kind of a complicated thing that doesn't really come apart, but it is easy enough to clean. And it sets on here really nice. Like it was just, they did design this thing pretty nice. And then you close it, make sure it clicks. The display is always constantly telling you, like right now I need to fill the tank full of water. When it's open, it says empty coffee filter. This display is very, it's telling you what's going on a lot. Here's the nice thing though. So we've got single serve. You press, this is your cup carafe button. So you press this, you go to the carafe. It can do anywhere from 2 cups to 12 cups in a carafe. Now we press the button again, you go to single serve. You can put your travel mug or just a cup of coffee like this down here. You can do 8 ounces is the minimum, all the way up to 20 ounces. So 18 goes in 2s. That's a pretty neat function. And then the strength. The strength, you really can change. You can go all the way from 1 to 8. Now they recommend starting out in 4. That has a lot to do with the grind. The strength is how much it grinds the coffee. Or you can do pre-ground. If I turn it all the way down, I can do pre-ground. I can't pick a strength in pre-ground, but I can put my coffee grounds in here. So I could put pre-ground coffee in here and close this. And then when it's on pre-ground, it doesn't do the grinder first. So when it's in strength, that means it's going to grind the coffee. according to how many cups I've got, according to the strength, and then it's going to brew that coffee automatically when I press the start button. So it's kind of an automatic grind and brew coffee maker. And it'll do that grind and brew right into a travel mug. That's a very nice setting. It'll grind the appropriate amount of coffee for a 20-ounce travel mug. So you do have to buy some whole bean coffee. This is what it looks like. Okay, so let's fill this tank. Again, you just push right here. This is the water access. It's got nice front water access. And let's watch the display. So the display is going to tell me how much I've got in the water tank. So this doesn't brew whatever's in the tank every time. It brews according to how many ounces you select or cups. So there, I've almost filled it up. So I filled it up to the 7 mark. So if I was going to do 7 cups, I could do 7, but I wouldn't have enough for 12 cups. So that is really, really nice. And what's nice, I was pouring it in, this little red thing pops up, but it also beeps at you to let you know it's full. This flashed, it beeped at me, and it says it's full. So now I can close this. I've got it all the way filled up. I can turn those beeps off. I'm going to show you how to do that in the menu. There's the menu. We can set the clock, set the sound, reset it, and calibrate it, all using this button right here. Okay, so let's talk about this grinder knob. When you turn this, the display changes to grind size. And as I'm turning it to the right, the grind size is 6. When I turn it to the left, the grind size is 1. If we read those words, coarser is to the right. So that's a coarser grind, and finer is to the left. It says to start out with 3, which is right about there. I drew a little line on mine. So it's got this whole section on adjusting the grinder. It says to start out with 3, but I'm going to do another video where it says to calibrate. And I'm going to do the calibration on a separate video. So I do my coffee on 3. I don't find that I need to change it that much. We lift this off. Again, that's the bean hopper. We turn this, and then we can lift it off. What's nice about this is there's that cleaning brush. We can take this out, move that to that's the align, and then to the lock position. So with it out, there's what the burr grinder looks like. And then you lock it in. So what I like about this bean hopper, I'll explain it to you. So when you have beans in here, some bean hoppers, so if you lift this up, you can't because it's locked, but when you lock it, it closes this off so the beans won't fall out. That's really nice. So you can work on this machine with your beans fully in here. Otherwise, if some machines, when you unlock them and pull it up, this opening is still open and all the beans kind of come out. So it makes it really hard to work on. But this one's, I really like that. Okay, so let's dump our beans in. Okay, so I dumped my beans in. I kind of had to level it out a little bit, then I'm going to put that on. I got my water in. Again, they recommend starting out on the 4 setting. That's right in the middle. I'm going to do 6 cups. I can do a full carafe, 12 cups. I'm going to do 6. And I simply just hit the start button. So what it's doing right now is it's grinding those beans, it's shooting them into this hopper, into the brew basket. It's not super loud either. Now it says the word preheating. So it's preheating, but I can hear the kind of the heating element kick on. Okay, so I heard another, you'll hear kind of things open and close. Now I see the word brewing. Again, I kind of heard something move up there. That was probably that disc in the back closing. Now the hot water is starting to come into the brew basket. So it's a very quiet coffee maker. I can see right there, the coffee is going in. Let's check the temperature of that coffee. About 175, 178. It's about the hottest I'm seeing, 178. Now I like this. It says the word brewing, but it's also giving me a countdown timer. So it says there's 4 minutes left. So it's got a pretty nice power cord. It is 3-prong and it's got this hole in the middle for easy grip, I guess. Front to back, this thing's a big coffee maker, about 13 inches. Side to side's almost 9 inches. And height-wise, it's about 17. It'll fit under a kitchen cabinet just perfect because it's got this nice front access water, and the beans are pretty easy to access when it's under a kitchen cabinet. So this will definitely fit under kitchen cabinets. Kitchen cabinets are usually 19 inches from the counter. So this coffee maker can be kind of intimidating at first, but after you use it for a little bit, it becomes very user-friendly. They have made it, the controls and everything are kind of, again, they're easy to learn, easy to use. The display's constantly telling you what you need to do next. So I do like it, but it is intimidating at first because it's a big coffee maker, a lot of buttons. It's a little unusual how it works, but it does make a really nice cup of coffee. And for travel mugs, I mean, grinding your own coffee into a travel mug, that's a pretty big deal. Not many coffee makers can do that. After I brew this, I will be brewing into a travel mug to show you that too. And then I'll measure how big the travel mugs can be. Okay, so I missed it, but it did beep at me, 2 beeps. And it's got the words empty coffee filter. So it says, hey, you've got used coffee in here. You can turn those beeps off in that menu setting I showed you. Okay, so let's grab a cup of coffee. You gotta get the carafe dumped over pretty good before it starts pouring. That's a little unusual. And how hot's our coffee? 165. Yeah, that's about 66. That's about standard. That's a really hot cup of coffee. I've had coffee out of here. It makes a really nice cup of coffee. You've got a lot of control over it. Again, if I wanted a little stronger, I had 4 more settings I could do for strength. So now let's see how it did. So yeah, the open button is here. This is going to open. We can see there's where it shot the coffee grounds in. Yeah, and be careful, this can be hot, but let's see how it did. So yeah, it does a pretty good job with the coffee grounds. So clean up with these grind and brews. You know, this can be a little tricky. You're gonna have to take that over and get the coffee grounds out. And then you do have to rinse this out after each use. So with these grind and brews, cleanup can always be that's probably the hardest part of the whole machine. But they do want to make sure, so see this, so say I want to brew another pot of coffee or something, you do want to make sure this is nice and dry. This is where the coffee is going to get shot in when it's ground up. And if this is wet, you could start to cause problems of it sticking to it and then kind of making a mess. So they do say to dry it, and it is pretty important to kind of get this area where the coffee is going to get shot in nice and dry. Okay, so now let's talk travel mugs. So getting the travel mug in and out can be just a little tricky. So I'm using this area down here. This doesn't come apart anymore. You got access to this circle if you take this out. And so that circle, so let's just measure, this cup is basically 2 7/8, and it just fits. And it's also 7 inches tall. So we definitely have plenty of room there, but getting it in and out, you'll have to open this up to get it in and out. So with this installed, it definitely wouldn't fit. Looks like we got about 6 inches. 6 inches with the travel mug, with that in, and about 7.5. But again, you'll have to open this up to get it in and out. So make sure you measure your travel mug, or how much liquid it will hold. This one will hold 14 ounces. That's pretty standard for a travel mug. So it's very simple. We've still got coffee in. We're gonna press this button. The display changes to single serve. I don't want 20 ounces. I want 14 ounces. Strength is at 5. I mean, there again, you can just mess with the strength. Let's go 7 on the strength. And you simply, I should have enough, that's 6 cups, so I should have enough water for that. You just press the start button. This gives you a countdown timer. It's grinding the beans. Says it's preheating. That's a pretty quick travel mug. Okay, so their wording changes a little bit. It says infusing now. So nothing's coming out of it. I think it's putting some water into the coffee, but it's not letting it come out yet. It can control when it lets the coffee in and out. There's a little motor you'll hear that'll control that. Okay, so I just heard a little valve. Now it's letting it out. It put a lot of water in that filter basket. Now it says brewing. Now it says brewing. Let me get that temperature. About 185. 189. So we still got 52 minutes. Sorry, 45 seconds. I think it's going to let a little more coffee out. I can't remember. So your travel mug right now has got 173, 175 coffee in it. That's really hot. Okay, so it says done. No more coffee came out, but there was still some countdown, and then it says done. It says empty coffee filter. Again, we got to open this up in order to get our travel mug. And here's how it did. So let's go back to this. It's got some built-in safety features, so it just prevents you from doing accidental brews. So here I changed this to cups. Say I want to do a 12-cup pot of coffee, but I only have 3 in the tank, and I press start. It flashes it and kind of beeps at you. It says, hey, add more water. It doesn't say add more water, but it gets your attention and it won't do the brew. Check out my next video. I'm going to show you how to program the auto start. So I'm going to show you how to program this to start in the morning automatically. And I'm also going to show you how to descale. So you'll see the words DECS down here on this, and that's when it's time to descale. It has a descale mode. You might see the word clean coffee chute. I'm going to do another video on how to clean the coffee chute. That's that little area right in there. So there's even a section in the manual on calibrating the grind. I'm going to do a video on how to calibrate the grind. I'll put a link to this in the show description notes. Yeah, like I said, it is on sale at Amazon right now. Thanks everybody for watching. If you could, please like and subscribe.